Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, once again, we have the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X scalpers basically doing what they do best and trying their best to go and maintain up the price as high as they possibly can. But it does always keep on saying that it does kind of seem a little bit on the desperate side too as well, mainly because it just is kind of sad to go and see. Now, I do want to go reiterate when it comes to the actual prices. I'm actually pretty happy with the prices actually going down. We actually made a little bit more of a deep dive with it too as well. And on top of that too, it's almost to the point where I would almost want to recommend it. Not fully as of yet, but just letting you guys know. We've seen a lot of movement, we've seen a lot of different things, we've seen a lot of deceitful kind of things as well going on, and in the middle of the day, it's kind of just mediocre. So we have a lot of stuff to go talk about, a lot of things to go bring on up, and as well, it's kind of just sad seeing all these scalpers still trying to be so desperate. So if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console Controller. Twitter and Twitch stream as well, link down below. Sign up for that Weeble, sign up for that Coinbase and Twitter giveaway down below. And let's go and dive in the video itself. So, we have a thing over here, and it's kind of almost to the point for me, I'm not really sure if I should just be like, whatever, F it, when it comes to, just like things when it comes to stock and restock and all that, because at this point, I almost would maybe be, I'm slow, I think maybe like a 20% being like, it might just be worthwhile for some of these people, if you get it for super cheap, pay an extra like $30 or whatever, to maybe finally get your PS5 restock grind done. But at this point, I would still probably say it's kind of on the middle side for it, mainly because it's just weird. I don't know, I'm sure you guys know the principles are pretty hard, but I do know some folks out there are kind of in the boat where it's like, well, so at least for those people, yeah, maybe something to consider in the near future. But when it comes to this one, we actually have a very intriguing thing as well today, which came out when it came to scalpers and botters, essentially trying their best now to go and maintain the price point the best they possibly can. Today, we actually had a 50% off seller's fee throughout the day. Now, I'm more still going to be mentioning this all throughout this, a little bit later on throughout the day, because it's like, I don't know, if you guys want me to let me, I guess we could talk about it in a separate video or whatever, but just letting you guys know, it's kind of, I feel like it's always kind of desperate. It's kind of like whenever the market kind of goes and dips down a little bit, that's kind of when we always see these sales keep on popping out. So as you guys can read on the screen, we have StockX with the 50% off seller's fee today only. The best day to shop and sell. More so on the selling side because they're trying their best to go let the sellers make as much money as they possibly can. It's not really that good for buyers, I would go and say, and if anything, I think the price has actually gone up for third-party markets. And it's kind of annoying because they are trying their best to maintain up this market as long as they possibly can. A little bit on the annoying side, a little bit just overall kind of meh. I always want to say it is at least authenticated, so if you ever did talk about it maybe throughout the weekend or whatever, because I actually have had a few questions on it as of recently, we may go do that. As you guys know, I'm always kind of on the middle. It's it is at least nice it is all authenticated, but at the same time, I don't really like the idea of third-party sellers and scalpers when it comes to this. So when it comes to the price points, as you guys can see, 50% off seller fees today only, which has just been today. I'll probably be ending, I think, in the next 5 hours or so, something like that. The best day to shop and sell. It's that time of the year to start moving out last season's wardrobe, get ready to sell those items you've been sitting on and free up space for a brand new heap. Now, very specifically, intriguingly, they try to go push more on the clothing one, but I'm sure you guys, as you guys know, the consoles are still always huge sellers, especially in something like StockX. For the next 24 hours, any item sold will automatically receive 50% off their fees with a minimum of $175 with sneakers, electronics, so very namely PS5s and Xboxes, handbags and watches are $100 on apparel, trading cards or collectibles, and as well, this is all going on throughout the day itself. So, kind of lame, kind of weird, kind of desperate, in all honesty. So, as I've kind of mentioned before, I'm not really the biggest fan of these third-party seller sites like eBay's, Facebook's, whatever. I've always said if people ever wanted to just end the grind or whatever, I totally get it. It's not the end-all, be-all. I've never judged people, it's their money, and at this point, it's whatever. At this point, it's almost the 50-50 where it's well, it is getting closer towards normal price. You may be paying an extra $20, $50, whatever. Some people are just whatever, sure, just finally get the grind all done. But when it comes to this, it's just almost just desperate because we actually have been seeing a pretty big price decrease as of recently. So if you guys have looked at the PlayStation 5 and Xbox, we'll probably do a little bit more of a deep dive in that probably throughout the weekend. But as we see the prices keep on going down and down and down, it's a little bit more on the obnoxious side because they're trying their best to leverage up and kind of increase the price in almost any single way they can. So a really good example of this is hey, a 50% off deal. This is great. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And then, well, it's not. Basically, this point just try their best to go prop up the market the best they possibly can to kind of keep this facade of these market prices going, up and up and up. Now, for me, As like someone, as you guys know, for a YouTuber, I have been spending my entire like probably year and a half fully dedicated towards making sure this works for you guys. Like I want you guys to get your consoles. I've dedicated a lot of my time for the Xbox and PlayStation 5 side. And it's kind of annoying to go and see people, especially botting groups and everything else, trying their hardest to maintain up the like their practices. They're trying their best to maintain up, like, hey, like, we want to make as much money as we can. Hey, let's go keep this going for another 3-4 months if we can. Hey, I don't want to lose my paycheck. We're not really sure what else to scalp and bot next. Let's go keep going. And it kind of seems like a place like StockX does kind of facilitate it. Although I do want to say it does kind of make sense because this is like their whole purpose. It's like eBay if they do like seller fees, or like Facebook if they're trying to be like, hey, you get $10 gift card if you sell something. I don't know, whatever they would do to incentivize you to use the platform and make money on it or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of annoying to go and see this in all honesty, because it really does kind of seem like they just can't go and let go of the graps, I guess, of all the third-party markets and sellers. Because it doesn't seem like people want to lose money. I've even had a lot of scalpers themselves kind of even start insulting me because I keep on saying it's getting a little bit easier and easier and easier to go and get our consoles. Now, it's not still fully easy as of yet, for sure. I'll just be in all honesty. But the one big struggle for that one is it stinks. Like, it really stinks. I don't want them to keep on trying to facilitate this as long as they possibly can. So it's annoying. It really is. Because like I said, we had a little bit of a price drop, and that might be why. Because we actually had a pretty big one when it came to like a lot of the Best Buys in stores, Targets in stores, PS Direct that was up for like 2 hours. So I'm sure at that point a lot of people got a little bit afraid and they wanted to sell stock and move stock or whatever, which, I mean, I can kind of go and get, in general. So what can you kind of do, boys? What can I kind of do? But when it comes to all the overall price points with it, it just stinks. Like at this point, like I think like these people just have to like let it go. Like at some point, the console restocks are gonna have to stop. At some point, the scalping and botting has to go and stop. And especially with things being in stores more often, you at some point gotta go and chill. So the fact that they keep on just getting desperate and desperate and desperate. And we've actually seen these, I think, happen a little bit more often than per usual, where we've actually been seeing even more and more and more of these like seller fees or like big electronic fees. We've kind of covered up a little bit on the channel itself, where before it almost never happened. And it does kind of seem like the overall e-commerce business, because if you guys even go, say, look at Amazon, who just had their most recent earnings, basically for that, a lot of them were just not doing as good. There's not as much consumer spending. There's not as much people spending money. And that probably does correlate quite a bit when it comes to consoles, PlayStation 5 or Xbox, or just kind of like frivolous kind of electronic goods, which is, I mean, I could totally understand it. But yeah, at the end of the day, it does seem like they're trying their best to go bump up the market. This is probably one of the lowest price points we've seen for the PlayStations, for their restocks, for consoles in general. And like, in all honesty, maybe like it's almost like the Fed. If you guys are like big in like the whole like government side, it's like they're trying their best to step on in. They bet the best they can to be like, hey, let's let's try our best to go maintain the prices the best we can. Hey, it's seen a big drop. We might see less sales. Let's try to go give a little bit of a cut to like increase up the prices and like let people spend a little bit more extra money and incentivize some sellers, to kind of make a little bit extra more money. And it kind of stinks. And as well, we've also seen other kind of like somewhat slimy practices if you look at, say, StockX, where even on the very front page, you guys can see where they're pushing like really kind of weird listings, where it's like we have a random Hong Kong PlayStation 5, and I feel like there's sometimes just kind of holding on to these to make it kind of seem like the prices are higher than they actually are. So you have like the $770 mark point on this one, $847 too as well, and it just kind of seems like they're pushing just a little bit too much to try to go and like maintain this higher price as best they can. Especially as they mentioned too, they have like these weird like one-day promotions to try to incentivize people to buy and to go and sell and everything else too as well. So it's just weird. It really does seem like it's getting on the desperate side. It really does seem like they're trying their best to maintain it as best they can. And I think a lot of us, like maybe if you guys want to chime in your comments down below, it really does just kind of seem like they just need to let it go. Like at some point you need to let it fall. At some point you just need to like kind of equalize. And also for the sake of all of you guys probably watching this video, at some point you need to realize that like we can finally get it in stores, or we can finally easily get on Amazon or whatever it is. Now we're not fully there as of yet. We still have a little bit of time longer to go through, obviously. And the big struggle is still there. Like we still have a few more weeks to kind of truck on through. But when it comes to the consoles, when it comes to the restocks, when it comes to everything, we're almost done, which is nice. Like you guys are still waiting for your consoles. You guys can get them soon. So it's good stuff. I just kind of wish it would be a little bit quicker. It would see all these scalpers trying their best to go and maintain it as long as they could on the third-party reselling markets. So that's kind of my thoughts on it too. I keep on seeing this stuff popping on up, and it's kind of a little bit on the sadder side. But at the same time too, at least it is somewhat on a verifiable side and somewhat of a legitimate side too as well. So You're just going to take it how you will. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. As well, for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, give your thoughts and comments down below. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream as well, linked down below. Got that Weeble, got that Coinbase, got the Twitter giveaway as well. And of course, if you guys want to go check on the Xbox, so we keep on linking those down below. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. And at least on the bright side, we'll finally get out of this trench sometime soon. Love you guys.